And I walk up, it's this big, fat, bald, muscular guy. I walk in and he goes, what do you want? I said, I want to make an appointment to get a tattoo. He says, what do you want a tattoo of? And I said, this. And he goes, what is that, a puppy, a kitten? And then like one guy in the back goes, it's a pony. And I said, I want that guy to do my tattoo.
Then there, here we go now. Yeehaw! Welcome to Apple Acres. Come on down and meet the family. You got apple cobbler, apple bumpkin, apple turnover, apple pie, little jazz, cousin Braybird, Big Mac, apple bloom, and this here's Granny Smith. Yahoo!
Don't worry, Twilight. I happen to be the fastest Pegasus in the sky. The fastest Pegasus in the sky. The fastest Pegasus in the sky. It's because I'm awesome.
I've been doing voice work for about 6 years now, I guess. I graduated from the Canadian College of Performing Arts and basically got picked up by an agent at this showcase that we did and told me that he thought I would be good at voiceover work. So I went in and did a reading with him. He was confident that my voice capabilities were there, so he started just sending me out to these auditions, and it was pretty nerve-wracking at first. I went into a room where all these people knew each other, and I was this outsider, and I didn't really know how to, maneuver around the microphone. I mean, I'd had singing experience, so that was good, but yeah, I just kind of got thrown into it, and my first voiceover role was a character called Slim Pig. He was just this paper-thin pig that would go around the barn and get into adventures. He was like a cutout pig, but all the other animals were regular 3D. I don't know, it was strange. I kind of got hired to do this little boy voice.
So Slim Pig kind of just sounded like this. Hey, little chicken, do you want to go on an adventure today?
And he was just like this little dude. Because I was a role already on the show, I got to play the little chick.
This kind of sounded like this. Adventure! Oh, adventure!
I got to play the cow. She kind of had this weird voice. Oh, Slim Pig, please help me. My head is stuck in a fence. Please help me move it. One of my favorite roles actually that I ever got was this Warner Brothers cartoon called Coconut Fred's Fruit Salad Island. And it was this sexually confused tomato. He didn't know if he was a fruit or a vegetable. So he was very sensitive, and he performed poetry a lot.
What am I? A fruit or a veggie? Either one could give me a wedgie.
I went into the audition for the new Care Bear series, and they were looking for this new Care Bear called Oopsie Bear, who was this little boy. I guess they got a bunch of men to read for him. And that wasn't working out, so they got me in there, and I just kind of based him on Chris Farley, the kind of clumsy guy he plays all the time to fall.
Oh, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to mess up the Thunderbolt coaster. Sorry.
I got to play
Boris Moody. He was on this show called Ricky Sprocket. It was about a showbiz kid, and Boris Moody was just an ordinary guy who really liked breakfast cereal.
And then so I think I got kind of pigeonholed to play little boys all the time, because that was my go-to voice, was the little boy voice. So when I went into audition for My Little Pony, I thought it was obvious that I would read for Spike, the baby dragon. And I just was like, oh, I'll just go to, do my go-to little boy voice.
Twilight, you know I love eating diamonds.
Or, he's just like this little guy. I didn't end up getting cast as Spike, but I got a call back for not Spike, but for Applejack and Rainbow Dash. I just ended up getting both roles, which is pretty crazy. My job is fun. It's cool. It's like, it's get to hang out and do voices for a living. Not too shabby.
Okay, whatever you want.
Hey, what's going on? I'm Ashley. I am at the site of a show we just played with Hey Ocean, and I just had my first brony encounter.
Do you have any voices for us?
Well, I suppose that Applejack's very happy that you came out to Hey Ocean.
And Rainbow Dash couldn't be more excited. I'm gonna go watch Dead Mangan now.
All right.
Peace.
Thank you.
A brony is a fan of the television show My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic. And they're usually males from the age bracket of 18 to 30, let's say. The pervert alarm for sure went off in my head when I first heard about it.
I want to very specifically not give a shout out to my bronies tonight.
Now a show you're right in the middle of the normal scale.
Since the reboot of the classic 80s cartoon debuted last fall, it's attracted a massive amount of male viewers.
Combine the words brother and pony.
The audience isn't who you might expect.
Fanboys have taken to creating pony art, posting fan videos on YouTube, and creating blogs dedicated to the show.
Weird fit demographically, but they work together. My point is this!
Bronies have changed the definition of masculinity.
I think it's the end of
civilization.
What's happened is that with the spread of fast access internet, almost the entirety of the media with the fandom is entirely online. It's in a lot of senses a brand new type of fandom.
It's this crazy phenomenon on the web, in the media.
It's kind of inexplicable, really. What happens when a movement puts a lot of new ideas into circulation?
It doesn't really make sense.
People are inspired by the environment that surrounds them.
The internet is a complicated idea, a set of protocols that has changed everything.
Try to realize our imaginations and the need to retreat to a world of pure fantasy. We exist in a world of illusion.
The true nature of reality beckons from just beyond the horizon.
I got an invitation to BronyCon. Brony, B-R-O-N-Y-C, Con, in New York, which is a convention for bronies. It's pretty crazy. Apparently there's a lot of these happening, although this will be the first one that I've been invited to. Hello, my name is Purple Tinker, and I run BronyCon, the world's largest dedicated My Little Pony Friendship is Magic fan event. We are currently in the planning stages of our next event, BronyCon, in January. It will be held in New York City, but something is missing. Miss Ashley Ball. It's me. Would Miss Ball do us the honor of letting us treat her like the star she is for one special weekend? Wow. I guess we'll see.
trained Harley Davidson mechanic. I have built and can build custom motorcycles from scratch. I can weld, I can run a CNC machine, I played college football. I was a bodyguard ranch hand for a science fiction writer. I had worked as a GM lube guy at a GM dealership. On top of all that, I watched a show for little girls. I'm known as Dusty Cat in the fandom, and I'm known as the manliest brony in the world. If this guy can like a girl's show for what it is, you can too. Every character doesn't have the answers, right? They have to go find the answers. They have to learn from their mistakes. And that's what draws me to My Little Pony, because you have character-driven story where the characters learn something and grow. There's 6 main characters in the show. Twilight Sparkle. Her characterization is fairly easy. Twilight is the intellectual shut-in. Now you have Applejack, who is the hard worker, that pony you can go to. But her problem is she can't let others help her. Fluttershy, too shy for her own good. That's one of her fallacies that makes her a character. Rainbow Dash, my what an ego. She'll never get to the Wonderbolts because the Wonderbolts are a team situation. There's no I in team. Rarity, element of generosity to a fault. She has to get over that. She has to learn from that. And then we get to Pinkie Pie. Party animal extraordinaire. Off into left field. All the time. But still, when somebody needs to be picked up, when someone is feeling sad, she's there. Every time. Each individual character is so well-rounded within an archetype of personality. So people can see themselves as a Rainbow Dash, a Rarity, or an Applejack. That is the basis of excellent storytelling. Don't think of it as 6 little ponies in Ponyville. Think of it as 6 friends learning from each other. It just happens to be wrapped up in a package of pastel ponies that's animated well. This is a show for kids. But it doesn't wallow in that point. I'm just a guy who happens to like a TV show. I love My Little Pony. I love what it does. I love the message it sends. And I want to be a part of it, and I want to be able to play in that universe. We're supposed to chug beer, ride motorcycles, be degrading to women, and like explosions. That's what's ingrained in our brains from the minute you're born and put into a blue crib. Well, I like what I like. I don't need society to tell me what I like. And that's all there is to it.
As Twilight Sparkle would say, we must science this immediately. About a year ago, the brony phenomena sort of fell into our laps, and as soon as I heard about it, I thought somebody needs to study this. Fandom is a term that's used for the community, and in general, people usually look at fandoms with kind of a little bit of a like, these people need to get a life. Well, in fact, actually, where's the term fan come from? Fanatic.
You know, it could be the Carolina Panthers. It could be Star Trek. It could be My Little Pony.
Oprah.
It could be Oprah. It could be anything.
Our bronies ranged from 14 to 57, with the average age was around 21 years of age. Then there's the question of gender. We usually ran around 85% male and 15% female. Some female bronies like to be called bronies, some like to be called Pegasisters.
And we question if that 15% female, how much of those are bronies because they have a brony boyfriend.
Yeah. bronies score lower in neuroticism. Neuroticism is sort of like a tendency, and I've sort of wrote, it's a tendency to experience negative emotions like anger, anxiety, to worry, to be stressed. And the bronies have lower scores. So again, that would tend to say this is a group. Now there are going to be depressed bronies and there are going to be anxious bronies, but that's very positive. Education level. What we found was around 35% of our bronies were in high school, while about 62% were in or had completed college. And then one of the biggies, the sexual orientation question, which many people, when they first hear about the bronies, will say things like, well, is it a bunch of gays and that? 84% of the bronies will describe themselves as heterosexuals. 1.5% label themselves as homosexuals, and about 10% bisexual, and then around 3 to 4% asexual.
Asexual is based on clinical experience of some people who just simply are not interested in sex.
It's still a puzzle, and
it's still a puzzle, and it's a puzzle to us as well. But I think that that society as a whole is becoming less negative in their attitudes toward bronies.
My name is Mike Bernstein, and I am the broadcast director of Everfree Radio. Everfree Radio is an online radio station and network of programs dedicated and mostly marketed towards the brony community. I ended up watching it because I thought, okay, clearly this is a phenomenon. I have to understand why. And I watched the first episode, and the first episode is a cliffhanger. It's a two-parter, so I'm like, okay, well, I got to watch the second part. You know, you got to see how the beginning story arc ends. And I was like, you know, I got to the end of the second episode, and I'm like, yeah, that's pretty decent. It's okay. It's not bad. No, I better watch the third episode to make sure that it's, you know, maintaining that level of quality, and then the fourth, and then the fifth. And by the time I got to the 17th episode, I kind of hung my head in resignation. It's kind of like, damn it, you know, I guess I'm a brony. Oh well, better come to terms with it. 4chan is an image and message board where the brony movement began. Basically back in, I think it was October of 2010. Somebody wrote an article. They were citing My Little Pony Friendship is Magic as showing that companies were micromanaging programs. Well, new cartoon shows are all about merchandising, and so somebody on 4chan went and decided to watch it and said, hey, it's pretty good. And so they made a post about it. Other people started watching it, and they're like, hey, yeah, it's actually pretty good. And it became this kind of like weird phenomenon. They ended up becoming kind of like their own little clan. So more people watched the show to try and figure out, okay, is this just a big joke? And then they started posting images on the boards, and then the moderators of 4chan decided, no, we don't want all these pony images everywhere, so they shut it down. So then they started another one. It became this whole like flurry of online activity. In a sense, 4chan was the start of the brony community. It's the deep depths of shameless internet. Actually, people like to think, okay, bronies, the name bronies came from bros and ponies. That's not where it came from. It came from the B message boards and ponies. So that's how they combined it. It was 4chan B and ponies, so bronies. But I kind of like the bro one better because it feels like it's a little more, you know, hey bro. So that's just me.
So yeah, voiceover work is my job, and I just like love what I do. Love that I get to be a cartoon for a living. But my main passion is music. In Hey Ocean, there's two other members besides myself, Dave Vertesi and David Beckingham. The three of us have been doing this music thing for almost 7 years now, and over the last couple months, we've been feeling the presence of the bronies. Bronies by the dozens have been coming to concerts.
I didn't watch the first episode and then just suddenly get drawn in or anything. I don't want to be mean, but like, I don't care about My Little Pony.
All we do is mess around, but I know that it's love we found.
I think it's kind of difficult for both of them because there's this whole other fan base that's like kind of latching themselves onto our music.
Yeah, it's weird, like 30-year-old dudes liking a little kid's show about female ponies, you know, that fly or whatever. But that said, weird can be really rad and really good, and it's important.
I love people who are genuine and who are like, this is who I am, and that's what I like. I like the bronies for that.
Baby, there's no time to waste. Sing until you have no voice. Ooh, sing because you have no choice. Ooh,
There's nothing that can compare to standing on a stage and singing with an amazing band and some of your best friends. It's what I love more than anything, and it's the dream for sure.
Don't tell me that we've come this far. Just start again and fall apart. Sing it when you're lost at sea. Love will bring it back to me. Sing until you have no voice. Ooh, sing because you have no choice. Ooh, our love is like a big blue wave. Ooh, 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 ooh.
I discovered Hey Ocean through finding out about Ashley and the other bronies. It's like, oh hey, you know, she's in a band, you know. Wow, really? So you check it out and then you find out it's awesome. Mando Pony is sort of the persona that I developed to release music online based off of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. The show generates so much positivity. It makes so much good happen, and yet it meets such disappointing, like, venom from so many people are so venomous towards it and so hostile and destructive towards it. It just disgusted me and made me so sad. That was why I wrote the song.
But we're a long way from Equestria. Long, long way.
I think, you know, saying we're a long way from Equestria is just a way to surmise the fact that, yeah, all things considered, we're so far from this world. Like the characters in the show, they learn, they forgive, they share, and they celebrate friendship and kindness instead of mocking it. And that we are so far from that, but it's getting better. I think it's getting better.
Long way from Equestria. Long, long way.
I'm just kind of trying to decide right now to go or not to go. That is the question. And it's just kind of at a crazy time. Like, I'm really busy with work right now and touring with the band. I don't know if I have the energy to go into one of these conventions. I've heard crazy things about conventions. For someone like me who's pretty new in the game, I might not be able to cope with it. I don't know. I didn't really expect to have fans per se in the voice work that I do, and it's pretty crazy that I do. I'm nervous. I'm definitely nervous. Got I don't know, something about it just gives me kind of an uneasy feeling. But I'm just gonna go for it. I mean, you gotta do things that scare you in life, and I think this is gonna be a really, really weird and wonderful opportunity, so we're gonna do it. I'm gonna go to BronyCon.
BronyCon is a convention for bronies, fans of My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, or any generation of My Little Pony, to come together and just share their interests, art, music, or just the show itself. There are people flying in from California, flying in from Europe, because Ashley Ball will be at BronyCon.
Voice actresses, in a sense, are the stars of the show because they are the voices of the characters people love.
You know, to hear some of the bronies talk about rarity, oh, they would love to be rare.
The role in the community is they're the biggest celebrities. They're the biggest draw to these conventions because people want to have that kind of like one-on-one with the closest thing there is to the characters.
I think we have near on 1,000 pre-registered, and we have the capability to let people pay at the door. We're looking at basically hitting fire code limits for the convention.
Military bronies are just people who enjoy the show and are in the military. And it can be from the extent of somebody who watches the show regularly and maybe has a few pieces of art, and other people who liked the whole thing.
As a Mark 46 machine gun, it's a semi-auto version, but shoots 223 ammo. My friends were making fun of me for being a brony for years, and so I told them what could be more manly than going around with all the friends with the machine guns and all the tactical gear and everything else, and go out with brony gear.
The definition of a man is a human male with an X and a Y chromosome. That's it. It's as simple as it really gets.
My name is Brian Mischke. I'm predominantly an artist by hobby and everything like that. It's been pretty much my one and only real passion. And I have a long-time history, 6 years of service in the National Guard, the Army National Guard, so I think that pretty much is the gist of who I am. When I was 16, I was in school still. I dropped out, about 16 and a half. 17, on my birthday, I joined the military. I swore in that day, my recruiter got me. And at 18, I was in Iraq. Best allegory I can possibly use to describe Iraq came recently when I saw the movie Tron. And it's very interesting because basically when you go to the world of Tron, everything is really barren, everything's really organized. It's just kind of, it feels real, but it's not real and devoid of real life. It just feels like that. Everything's devoid of life. That's the desert, and it was desert for me when I was down there. Every tough experience is only gratifying after the experience. I guess I would say that last 5 months in Iraq was probably one of the hardest experiences I had, if not the hardest. Actually, you know, to be honest, the hardest actually came after that. I went through probably a really good year and a half of pretty deep depression after I got back from Iraq. For some reason, I don't know why I felt this way, and I still can't put a finger on it, but I just felt a tremendous amount of shame after a while, just for everything, even for the military maybe. I don't cry, I don't. And I remember this one time I just went for a walk, and so many things are going on, and I just broke down and called my mom, and I cried for like 3 minutes, and it's kind of getting me a little emotional right now, but like I just let it all out. I talked about everything that was affecting me, and I don't really talk about those things. Life was just so much simpler when you're out in the desert. Everything was planned out for you and everything. Like now you're back in the real world trying to figure it out. Art stopped doing for me what it used to do for me. I just kind of stopped drawing altogether. Didn't really see the point in it. Didn't really make me money. Didn't really make me feel happy. Didn't really feel like I had a purpose anymore in that area. And then I discovered ponies, I discovered a reason to draw again, and now here I am making art again. So don't underestimate the things that make you happy, you know. If drawing ponies makes you happy, there's no reason to feel bad about that. Yeah, I've been drawing this, or I guess I drew this drawing. It's a pretty detailed drawing. This drawing took me probably about a week. It's the first drawing I've drawn in a very, very long time. It was kind of the the catalyst to me getting back into artwork after probably about a year and a half hiatus. Princess Celestia is amazing. Princess Celestia rules over the kingdom, and she raises the sun, and she is like a surrogate mother to Twilight Sparkle, which is the main character of the show. Of all the characters on that show, that's the one I come to admire the most. She's lived 1,000 years and it feels like it. Like she's just kind of seen it all and just knows what to say at the right time. Any adult who has really gone through it all and has been really thoughtful and really caring and everything like that is going to be a Princess Celestia. You know what I mean? Your mother should be a Princess Celestia in my opinion. Nicole Oliver, which is the voice actress of Princess Celestia, is going to be doing a panel at BronyCon, and I really want to give this image to her, this drawing that I made of her character. I think it's really important that I gave it to her because I really want her to know that she's able to change lives. It's really important to me. I really need her to know that, and just thank her for being a part of it, and I hope it really goes over well.
My name is Fee. I'm a blog author and I'm an admin on Equestria Daily, which is the major pony news blog and media hub for the fandom, for the brony fandom. Basically, we do what we think people are interested in seeing. Basically, more or less, that turns into a fan hub, because most of what we do is post things that other people make that we think are cool. We also like to get interviews with voice actors and writers and directors and stuff like that and talk to them about their experiences. If anything happens, like if Hasbro releases a new toy or there's an announcement or anything at all like that, we report on it as soon as we possibly can. Any speculations, any rumors, any news at all. Like a gossip column with a newspaper stuck on with a stapler. Anytime anything comes out related to the show that could produce fan work, within like 3 hours you have like professionally made songs, and it's absurd. It's amazing and wonderful, and I can't get over it. When we were first starting, we made a huge deal out of getting like 1,000 page views, and then like 10,000 was like, oh my gosh, amazing, and that took like months to hit. And then started climbing up, getting 100,000, 200,000, skipped over 300,000 because it was going too fast. Got to 500,000 and was like, oh yeah, wow, we're really making it. Then 1 million happened in the blink of an eye, and now we're at close to 260-something million views, and we hit 1 million more every month, or more than 1 million, like 2 or 3 million a month. And it's just like, hi, remember when 1,000 was a big deal? Like, yeah. Well, I guess the ideal goal would just to be like an animation media outlet. To just have it all in one place and then sort of be the CNN of silly cartoons.
I decided that I needed a break. I needed to get away from the city, and one of my best friends lives in Salt Spring, and she invited me and a bunch of my really close friends. I'm working a lot. I'm doing a lot of series. I'm doing a lot of stuff with the band, and it's important, I think, to get away from it all for a little while and just kind of escape.
Apple fritters, apple rhubarb pie, apple turnover.
I feel like I'm myself right now in the truest form. Some people can just like really hone in on that. They just like know you so well. They just bring you back to yourself. And it's important to have those people in your life.
name is Stephen Carver, but I go by the name of SaberSpark online. I have a channel on YouTube called SaberSpark, and I do top 10 lists, I do reviews, I do shows where I talk about bronies and like how they act in the fandom, and just things like that. I am somewhat of a sociologist, and that was something I studied a lot in college, and that's where my brony, interest really peaked. Okay, there's a term we use in sociology called the pink blue syndrome. When a boy or a girl is born, they're automatically given a little pink cap or a blue cap to say you're a boy, you're a girl. Culture's designed around that, where guys play sports, girls play with their dollhouses. Guys are tough, girls cry. Take, for example, My Little Pony. This toy has been designed to be sold to little girls. That's the weird thing about it is guys love the show, and they want to actually buy merchandise. You have an audience that is younger girls who still love the show My Little Pony, and then older guys. And you have both of those people showing up in the same aisle that's designed for little girls, so it's kind of a bizarre, gender roles conflict. Just me staying in this aisle to begin with, there might be a mom and her daughter walking by and look down this aisle and see an older guy looking through pony toys. It's programmed in their mind to jump to the worst case scenario, which might be, oh, he's a pedophile, or he's a big old man-child, or something's wrong with him. The fact that bronies becoming more brave and going to the pink aisle buying pony toys is a sign that they're not as afraid to say that, hey, I'm a dude and I like My Little Pony. A guy can, like pink stuff, and a girl can like blue stuff. And once we get over that hurdle, we can finally start making some progress, as in girls can do fireman job and be an astronaut and be a police officer, and guys could maybe be a teacher for elementary kids or be a nurse. That's fine.